Notre Dame edge Isaiah Foskey officially off the board. The Saints making the selection at number 40. The consensus All-American left South Bend as the all-time sack leader in Irish program history. The lion's share of that production coming in the last 2 seasons, a combined 21.5 sacks, second in the country to only Will Anderson Jr. Foskey also blocked 2 punts in 2022. Back in studio with the guys for reaction. Rick, I'm going to go your way first here because you immediately sort of pushed back on this pick. A little early in your eyes for Foskey?
Yeah, no, there's no question about his athletic skill set, no question about his length. But what I struggled with is when we watched him at the Senior Bowl, he never really stood out in the one-on-one pass pro. And then when you watched him on tape, he almost plays too cautious, almost like by the numbers. I think if they can get him to let it loose and just pin his ears back and come off the edge, he's got a chance to be a pretty good player.
It is a division right now that is for the taking, and maybe you pin your ears back, find a couple of those different quarterbacks. What do you like here in terms of Foskey going up front once again, defensive line for the Saints?
Right, Joe. They went Brian Brzee in the first round, and I know you like that pick, Rick. Tough season last year, but for a number of reasons, he's a really good player. But then you come back with Isaiah Foskey, and the concern is what Rick lays out. The good news is the upside, the physical stuff, and he's the guy that you would describe, Rick, as you want him getting off the bus first. The problem is he's a converted tight end, so that's why he plays a little cautious. He's not yet comfortable in the position. Doesn't have an array of pass rush moves, which he also needs to work on. And while he's incredibly powerful, he's not twitchy. So that's also something you have to scheme up, and those are considerations. That said, they had need at edge rusher. They had need at the interior defensive line. They took care of those things day 1 and day 2, Joe. I just wonder if Keon White might have been a consideration here, Tommy Adebawore out of Northwestern. But again, it depends on how you stack your board, and that's who they had there.
Yeah, and I think they wanted an edge rusher, a wide 9 technique that could come off the edge, and I think he fit best because I think the other 2 guys that you mentioned, or other 2 players that you mentioned, or more, maybe 5 techniques over the tackle.
Right.
And I think the Northwestern kid is definitely an inside pass rusher as a 3 technique.
It is leadership from a premier program making his way down to NOLA. Isaiah Foskey off the board at number 40. And there he is, as of right now, the all-time leader in sacks in Notre Dame program history, edging out Justin Tuck a year ago.